Yuki and John, Patreon
We're back, John the Yuki.
That was our new theme song called Heyo.
Heyo.
Heyo. Yuki, today's topic is very general. Because we were just sitting here and we said, it's a little early for Yuki to leave, so why don't we do one more podcast? Right. This podcast is all about authors.
Right.
Now, we got into this subject because we were sitting there going, what do we want to talk about? Oh, boy, what do we start to do? And then you said Michael Crichton. And then you said John Grisham. And I said, I don't really know much about those guys, like, alone. I know a little bit. But in general, I do know. I read John Grisham's The Firm. I read Jurassic Park. So why don't we just talk about authors? Any authors that we could come up for the next 40, 30-something minutes? Let's just throw them out there. So you talked about Michael Crichton and John Grisham. What brought those on?
Okay, I always fond of the Michael Crichton. I started Andromeda Strain.
Andromeda Strain, which is a good movie. I didn't read that book, but I know that movie.
Right. See, the reason I like him is like his theming is always timing is good.
Time sensitive. Ticking clock.
It's always he writes that subject before actually happens.
Time in that way. So you're saying that he sort of predicts things through fiction that happen in reality.
Yeah, like Andromeda Strain, those virus thing happen.
Yeah, that's very prescient.
And then nanotechnology or the disclosure about the sexual harassment. Rising
time
sound.
frame, like we went back in time and we saw the medieval things. Remember that? Timeline, that's it. I thought it was time frame.
Timeline. The airframe was about the airplane accident.
Airframe.
And then they have a next or play. And then those new technology thing. And then disclosure about the sexual harassment.
But disclosure was reverse sexual harassment, right? It was the woman harassing the man, right?
And then Rising Sun, apparently the Japanese Japan passing. I mean, those things always before actual, thing happens.
So he has his finger on the pulse of things.
And then the Jurassic Park.
Yeah, well, that's amazing. I mean, now that we have dinosaurs in the real world, that guy really predicted some shit.
Yeah, and then this nanotechnology, micro.
Micro.
Yeah, and then it just those subject is always good timing and
Congo. Remember Congo?
Congo, yeah.
I read Congo and Jurassic Park when I was in like 8th grade or something, or 9th grade. Around that time, high school, middle school. And I remember really liking Jurassic Park, but it was different than the movie.
Right.
And I was kind of really obsessed with the movie. I'd be interested now to go back and see the differences, because now that I know a little bit more about science and stuff, like you're saying, Andromeda Strain I would really love to read.
Right.
Yeah, that's cool, because we just went through a pandemic and kind of... it was a little freaky time. But he... almost all his movies get made...
It's pretty much,
I mean, all his books get made into movies.
Yeah.
And didn't he invent ER?
Yeah, he was.
TV show?
He invented it, and then he did Twister. He didn't direct.
He did Twister.
Yeah, he wrote the Twister.
You're kidding?
Yeah,
that's cool. I like Twister. I saw that in the theater. I really had a good time with that. Bill Paxton and Helen Hunt.
So he wrote, he created book and then scripted. Also, he's a director too.
Oh, really? What did he direct? Let's look it up.
He directed Westworld.
Oh, shit. He directed Westworld?
Coma, he directed.
He directed Coma?
Yeah, and then he directed the what was that?
Debbie Does Dallas?
No, he didn't direct Debbie Does Dallas.
No, whoa, that's really weird.
He's a good director too. Runaway. The
oh shit, we were talking about Runaway. I really liked Runaway. I didn't know he directed that. Gene Simmons is a bad guy. How could you go wrong? Crichton. Michael Crichton. It's not coming up for me because I must have spelt it wrong. But whoa! And he must have been also a screenwriter too that like did other things that we're not even realizing, right?
And then he didn't go film school. He's a doctor.
That's what is amazing about him that I heard is that he was a doctor, was doing this, and then just started writing on the side, and that sort of exploded, and then he just became sort of a polymath.
Right, and then when he was in school, he didn't use Michael Crichton. He wrote a bunch of books named under John Lang.
John Lang.
Yes.
Why? Because he didn't want people to know?
Right.
Weird.
And then, years after he passed away, his first book, I think even before Andromeda Strain, this book called Binary.
Binary?
Yeah, I mean, originally it was published as, by John Lang, but now...
Oh, shit! You know what?
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt you, but this is a really underrated movie. The 13th Warrior. Based on one of his stories.
Antonio
Banderas, directed by John McTiernan, the great John McTiernan who did Predator and Die Hard.
He wrote that book.
Whoa, I didn't realize that. Okay, so disclosure, we're looking through Rising Sun, you said that. Runaway, you said that.
Yeah.
Looker, I don't know what Looker is, but hey. He wrote the novel The Great Train Robbery.
Yes, and he directed that movie, I think.
Holy shit, man, this guy, this is amazing. Now I know why you wanted to talk about him. Out of nowhere. This guy, I mean, of course I knew who he was. He's one of the most famous authors of all time. Yeah. But the fact that I didn't know that he directed these movies is insane to me. Because I love checking the credits and reading the stuff. And this is wild. I didn't know he was such a prolific guy.
And he didn't direct, but he wrote the Twisters.
Yeah, wrote Twister, like you said. So he did Westworld, Coma, The Great Train Robbery, Looker, Runaway, something called Physical Evidence, The 13th Warrior, and Timeline.
Right.
Yeah, wow, Yuki. Holy shit, good call, man. This is cool. I'm going to go, actually, I saw that Coma is on HBO Max. I'm going to watch that now. Cool. And then I'm going to revisit some of all the stuff.
Right. The funny thing is, Coma, he directed it. He was a, medical background, but Coma... written by Robin Cook wrote that.
Yes, I know Robin Cook. Yeah,
also he's a doctor.
Another interesting
he writes
author.
All medical mystery.
Yeah, medical sci-fi mystery.
Yeah,
that's really cool. Oh man, this is great. I wonder what Looker is. That looks like a great cover. It's this great. Oh my God, the woman with glowing eyes. 3 of 4 models who had plastic surgery done by Larry after...
I think it didn't do well.
No, I guess it didn't do well. It's got a 6.1 on IMDb, but hey, whatever. Oh, Albert Finney? I'm in. Anything with Albert Finney, I want to watch that shit. All right, so Michael Crichton, thank you for bouncing me up to Michael Crichton.
I like him, so, I just wanted to...
And you read a lot of these books. You
Pretty much, I read all his books.
Holy shit. All right, so... I'm gonna do 2 homework assignments. Okay. I'm gonna watch a movie or 2 that he directed, and I'm gonna pick up the Andromeda Strain and start to leaf through that.
The reason I read some, like, for example, John Grisham. I read a bunch of that I stopped doing because it's the same thing, repeat.
Yeah, that's with his stuff, it's like always the same. Michael Crichton, at least,
subject is different, so I don't get bored. Every book different. Story, different subject, so I can keep going. Yeah?
I remember with John Grisham, I read The Firm,
right,
and I really liked it.
That was a big hit, right?
It was a huge hit, and I liked it because the movie was coming out, and I read it. And when I saw the movie, I didn't like the movie because I thought the book was really fucking good, and that they left so much out.
Right.
But now I rewatched The Firm many years later, and it's good. It's like, if you don't have the book in mind and you're just going into a fun thriller type thing, it's very good.
But you can read his 10 book because it's same attorney, lawyer thing in
Time
Memphis.
to Kill. Yeah, it's Rainmaker.
So it's, like a client. The kind of got bored. I start first 3-4 books, but then I couldn't read it anymore because it's kind of same.
Yeah, sometimes you got a formula, you got to stick
Right.
to it. You just put the pieces and different pieces in or whatever, and you just get it's you're successful. You got to do.
Also, just like John Grisham, you remember Tom Clancy?
Yes.
Hunt for Red October.
Oh
then
yeah. Same.
Same. You know, his book we went crazy about.
Yeah.
I mean, the first 1-2 book is
Yeah.
good. Then later, all the same thing.
Well, what I heard about, and this is speculation and rumor, and it could be hearsay, whatever the hell it is.
Yeah.
This is what I heard that happens with a lot of authors when they get a really big name for themselves, is that they become sort of a factory.
Right.
And that they come up with the concepts, and then they hire ghostwriters, and that's why they could crank out so many books, is that it's like...
So they don't really write.
This is what I heard. And the people that I heard this about are James Patterson, the guy who did like Along Came a Spider or whatever. Tom Clancy, I heard, is major into ghostwriters. And sadly, R.L. Stine, I heard. This is what I heard.
But probably right, though.
Look, okay, if I were to write a novel and it was a humongous hit, and then the book, whatever, came up to me and says, we'll give you money like you've never seen, but we need to crank them out every 6 months. And I say, I can't write a novel every 6 months. This one took me 20 years to write.
Right.
And they say, no, what we're going to do is you're going to come up with the concepts and oversee the writing, and then we'll give you a ghostwriter who's going to write most of it, and then you can add your flavor. I say, sign me up, motherfucker. Let's go.
Right,
and
yeah.
I would be cranking shit out like crazy. Like crazy. The only thing that I would do a little differently, I don't really mind when there's two authors. You know, when you see a book that says written by blah, 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 and blah, 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 I don't mind that. So I would try to give the writers a co-writing thing.
Right.
You know? But I would still take the money. And I would run. I mean, come on, why not? What I just don't understand why it's bad to... people sort of look down upon collaborating on novels. Why? What's wrong with that? What's wrong with collaborating on novels? I've heard it knocked. You would you want to write a novel with me, but you have to do all the work and I'll take all the money? Yeah.
Remember there's one episode like that, the Colombo.
Oh, no, I don't remember this. I mean, I'm sure our resident
it's
Columbo
called the
expert, Liz Shack, knows every Columbo episode.
No, Murder by the Book.
Okay.
And then, like you said, two guys write the book.
Yeah.
One guy really writes. One guy really do the publicity.
And
then actual writer. Okay, now we've done enough. Let's spread. Now the other guy can't write it, right?
Oh shit!
So then that thing. Guess what? This one directed by Steven Spielberg.
Oh, so that's the pilot?
No, it's not the pilot. The one that was the.
Oh, so Spielberg did more than one?
Yeah.
Columbo. Oh, I didn't know that.
No,
I know Columbo did.
One.
He did.
No, he did the Night Gallery.
Aha.
Then he did the Columbo. So he started the TV movie first.
Yeah.
Then then including Duel, first one, that's the TV movie.
Mm-hmm.
So, but that was a good movie. So
yeah.
the movie was released in the movie theater.
Right.
So,
but then he went on and did Columbo and.
Right, but so he directed the Columbo.
That's awesome.
So it's like the same thing,
Double.
I mean, like a ghostwriter thing.
Ghostwriter. What's another author you like?
I read the few Patricia Cornwell.
I never even heard of this person. Not because I'm a misogynist. I just.
I think the female. She's what's her character name? Kate. I think she's something attorney or some medical examiner or something like that.
And what kind of? It's like medical dramas.
The medical suspense.
Medical intrigue.
And then only I read the couple side, but Michael Connelly.
Michael Connelly. We talked about him.
Yeah, because I did lots of something
about the tombstones or whatever.
Book promotion video. I art directed it. So I kind of. But his book come out in the once every year, so I couldn't catch up. So
yeah, those are hard.
I read the several, but then I stopped. And then the beginning, he was very interesting in the movie.
Yeah.
So every time I work like, how did you do this props and this? He was asking like, what is this? Now he's executive producer in the Bosch in Amazon.
Oh, forget it.
Then
he's doing really well.
The Lincoln Lawyer.
Oh yeah. Which also was Crichton, right?
No, Michael Connelly.
Connelly. Oh yeah. Sorry, I'm mixing the two up.
The same Michael. So.
No, Grisham. Wasn't Grisham involved with the Lincoln Lawyer?
No, that's no Grisham.
Anytime there's a lawyer involved, I think it's Grisham. Okay. You ever hear of a author called Lillian Jackson Braun?
No.
Lillian Jackson Braun. Okay, so in high school, we were reading a lot of stuff, and then our teacher was like, okay, I want you guys to just read like a fun novel. Right. Something that's just for fun. And he gave us this book called The Cat Who Could Read Backwards.
Wow.
And so Lillian Jackson Braun, what she does... all of her novels are called The Cat Who something. Oh. She has, here, I'm looking at it right now, 30 books called The Cat Who. Some of the other titles are The Cat Who Came to Breakfast, The Cat Who Knew a Cardinal, The Cat Who Lived High, The Cat Who Went Underground, The Cat Who Sniffed Glue, The Cat Who Knew Shakespeare, The Cat Who Played Post Office.
So the cat is the main character?
Well, okay, so this is where it gets complicated and interesting. The cat is owned by a detective, and always once in a while the cat will be around, and the cat, like, inadvertently helps solve these mysteries.
How come nobody made that movie, then?
That's a great question. The Cat Who Could Read Backwards would make a fun kids sort of young adult mixture movie. Yeah, I think that would be cool. But we read it in high school, and at first we're going, what the hell is this stupid kid shit? And it turned out to be this really cool mystery, and the cat helps solve it by accident, and the detective and all that sort of stuff. Lillian Jackson Braun. That's good shit to give your kids, you know? Yeah. What about Stephen King? Come on, we got to talk about the big one.
I read the Carrie, that was only good movie, Carrie and The Shining. Then later, I don't know, kind of bored.
You didn't like Misery?
Oh, Misery was good.
Come on, Misery's a great movie.
And then Stand By Me.
Stand By Me is a good movie.
But not the other one. Like, what was that? Cat's Eye, Silver Bullet. Those are I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Stephen King movies are hit and miss. Yes, some are great, some are not so great. But I've read a lot of Stephen King. When I was a kid, he was the biggest thing on earth. You're in 4th grade, around my age, you had to have read something by him.
Did you read the old Harry Potter thing?
So I came to talk about J.K. Rowling much later. So when I was in college, I got really drunk, and my friend's parents had a summer house.
Yeah.
And they didn't live there all the time. And we went out and partied. I was like, holy shit, I'm going to a summer house. I'm going to drink my balls off. So I drank, and I fell asleep in what is usually the son's room, who wasn't there that weekend. And I woke up a little early, and I couldn't fall back to sleep. And I looked to my left at the nightstand, and the first Harry Potter book was there.
He had that book.
He had the book. So I said, I'm bored. And this was sort of before smartphones, so I wasn't reading anything. So I read almost the whole book in a couple of hours. I breezed through it. I said, this is really good. Even though I was hungover, I kind of, got into it, and it was fucking awesome. So then I read all the books because I just luckily woke up hungover to the Harry. I was probably 23, 22.
Many people got hooked into every kid's almost read the whole book.
Yeah, I read the whole damn thing, and then I read them as they went. And by the time I started, I think the 5th book was coming out, and then around there, something like that, the 5th or the 4th book. And then as they came out, I bought them and read them, and I read.
I didn't read the whole book, but in the movie, I just couldn't understand it. in between movies, like 2-3 years.
No, it's 1 year.
No,
yeah,
really
every year. No, so it starts before they're in high school, and then every book is 1 year in school.
God, only I remember was still first one, and then they're just too long. So I kind of forgot the story. Then
you should read the book. The books are really cool, and they're really well done, and they're really captivating. The mysteries are really interesting. It's really good.
I gave up. I didn't even see the movie.
The movies, I'll tell you, I watched the third and the fourth one, and that's it.
Oh,
that's in my opinion. Those are the two best ones. 3
see.
and 4. The rest are okay. They're good. You sit through them.
I mean, the first one, they got those actors are kids, and last one, they're grown
up. 55 years old.
Yeah. God, that was too long.
Too much.
Too much.
Really quickly, though, with Stephen King, whatever. His best series, in my opinion, is The Dark Tower. It's his magnum opus.
The movie wasn't that good.
Garbage. The movie is garbage. And I like Idris Elba, and I think Matthew McConaughey was a good choice for The Man in Black. They rewrote it. It just doesn't make sense. They tried to combine all the books and make it no. Just what they need to do is sit down with The Dark Tower and start it and write it scene by scene and make it an epic TV show. That's all you can do. The rest of it is garbage.
I thought the movie Carrie was the best movie.
That's a great movie.
The Stephen King movie. Yeah. And then book, I like The Stand.
The Stand, yeah.
But other than that, like, it's just too many, so I kind of...
What about, you ever get into weirder shit? Not just narrative authors, but, philosophy and psychedelic researchers and things of that nature? I'm only talking like that because we're going to get really weird.
No, really, I don't read those books.
I love Robert Anton Wilson. Robert Anton Wilson was a so-called psychonaut, but he also was really into quantum physics. He was into philosophy. He was into spirituality. He was into drugs. He was into a lot of stuff. And he broadened my horizons when I was around 22, 23. Great books. If anybody wants to read stuff by him, it's really cool. Prometheus Rising is one. The Cosmic Trigger is another. Quantum Psychology is another. It's just really cool stuff because it's essays on, everything all at once. Existence, spirit, like I said, spirituality, philosophy. It's all sorts of things that he sort of...
Those are weird subjects. It's hard for me to read. I mean,
You like narratives?
Yeah.
Okay. The best book I ever read in a narrative structure has stayed with me for a very long time. It's one of my favorite books. Perfume by Patrick Susskind. You ever hear of this book?
No.
Just read this book. Is
it a document? Is it a novel?
It's a novel.
Is that the movie called The Perfume? Like this guy?
Yes,
same thing.
Same thing, but the movie's okay. It's not that bad, but the book is one of the greatest books I think about it very often.
The guy killed something and then he invented the perfume or something?
Because his sense of smell is so really overdeveloped.
Is it based on true story?
I don't think so. I think it's just a fiction, but it's really cool. I really recommend it. I don't want to say anything about it. If you've seen the movie, you know a little bit about it. But there's no way to do some of the best passages in the book are all about what this guy's inner monologue is all about and why he's doing the things and why he's driven.
Sounds like a book is better than a movie.
Oh, it's one of the best books I've ever read, in my opinion.
Really?
Yes. It's so... because it's horror adjacent, but it's also deeper than just horror. It really gets into psychology and crazy things.
Wow.
And yeah. I think you'll really enjoy it because it's just a really good story, but it also is a little more than that. Another great series that I loved is by a guy named Dan Simmons, and it's called Hyperion. Now, I don't know how good you are or how much you enjoy fantasy novels. It's not really. Well, this is cool because it's based on the Canterbury Tales by Chaucer, but it's set in outer space. And
oh my God.
Yeah, and it's really cool. So all these pilgrims get together and they're traveling to this place to stop this force of nature / villain called the Shrike. And the Shrike is like covered in metal thorns, and he's like destroying the universe and shit.
I saw the movie Canterbury Story that Pasolini made that.
He made that, yeah, that's great. And I remember in high school reading some of the Canterbury Tales, loving that shit. It's dirty. There's some dirty stuff in there. The one where he puts the poker up the person's butt by accident, but it's like.
Well, that's so Pasolini, It's like so.
Yeah.
But that's only I was a kid, then I said, "Gee, this movie looks kinky or sexy." Otherwise, I didn't know about the Pasolini.
Yeah, based in literary stuff,
Yeah.
What about? Let's see, who else? What did I read recently that it kind of stuck with me? I mean, I read William Castle's autobiography. You know who William Castle is? The guy the director who used to do the gimmicks in the movies. So, say he did The House on Haunted Hill, and he would have the skeleton fly across the top of the audience or the buzzing seats during the Tingler.
Oh, those.
His autobiography is amazing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's all about him getting the gimmicks and doing the stuff and how he figured out that it's just as important to have a gimmick as it is to make a good movie. But then later on, he bought the rights to Rosemary's Baby and wanted to direct it.
Wow.
But he got involved with Roman Polanski and Robert Evans and the whole thing. Great book. By himself. He wrote it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Who else? Come on, what's your beach reading? You go to the beach, and what do you sit down with?
Well, I mean, those are... But, I like the Hemingway and then John Steinbeck.
What's that story?
What?
The Hemingway story about their hunting, and oh man, I wish it's such a good story. He goes out hunting, and when the animal's coming at him, he flinches and he gets scared, and then his woman, she doesn't love him anymore because he was scared while he was hunting, and then
is that the true story?
No, it's one of Hemingway's stories, and then she starts sleeping with the guy who's guiding them through safari and cheating on the guy who got scared. But then at the end of the book, he goes to kill the animal, but she shoots him by accident. But people are like, "Oh, she really wanted her husband dead." Oh, fuck! What the hell is that story?
Did they make the movie about the
probably
the lion and the Hemingway or something like that?
Something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
His short stories are amazing.
I like The Old Man Sea.
Well, yeah, that's a great one.
And then the movie was good. Our producer Lee's favorite, Spencer Tracy.
Mr. Spencer Tracy as the old man versus the sea.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that shit. What about Flannery O'Connor? You ever get into her?
No.
Some people say she's problematic now because of some of her views on, this and that and the other thing. But some of her short stories are so powerful and beautiful.
Really?
Yeah. It's one of the greatest short stories I've ever read. I know I keep saying that it's greatest. But this is why they're coming to my mind, because they just moved me in so many ways. Is this story called A Good Man is Hard to Find. Anybody out there who wants to read something that really will, really might change you, is A Good Man is Hard to Find. Really good. She also has a compilation of books called 3 by Flannery O'Connor. There's 2 novels and then a bunch of short stories. She's, from the South, and she writes a lot about misfits and, all sorts of stuff like that. She's also very religious. That's great stuff. Carson McCullers, whatever the fuck her name is. What did she write? The Heart is a Lonely Hunter. That one was really fucking... That's a great book. And Reflections in a Golden Eye. Liz Shaq said... That's, John Huston adapted that one. Who else? Name any author. Just let's start rapid fire authors.
Well, I read, it's not old, but, Alice Walker, The Color Purple.
Oh, yeah.
This is my opinion. When I read, I was crying.
Yeah.
But I thought that a difficult book to make a movie. It's all letters.
Yeah, so
why
not just leave it alone?
Yeah, but Spielberg did it, but 10 Oscar nomination and 0 win, and it kind of makes it really difficult. It's a letter. So my opinion is, if you read 10 people read the letter, it's 10 interpretation. How can you make a movie?
Yeah. It's rough. A lot of these books that you go in, you don't want to.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's not even worth it to read the book, or vice versa, because it's just the experience of watching the other thing or reading the other thing is just gonna be ruined for you.
Right.
I don't know. I usually typically enjoy the book better. I know that's cliche, but I really do. It's hard to get all of the information that you can, especially like you said, if the book is written in a specific way that you can't visualize, and then that's the whole conceit of the book is the letters and this and that, you know. It's hard to do.
Because, probably 10 people read the letter, 10 different picture in their mind, right? Probably.
Yeah.
So how can you make in one movie? Is it just that everything is probably Steven Spielberg's vision, right?
Yep. Well, it is his vision. It's his movie, his vision. He's the man, but he's also.
But the sad thing is in the book, unlike a book, it's a letter, so probably everybody sees it like, wait a minute, I didn't see this way. 10 people might think that way then, instead of, oh yeah, this is the scene from the, we can't connect book and the movie.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to think of other examples of stuff that blew me away in my life that I read. Oh, Douglas Adams' The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Oh God, I didn't like the movie. I never.
No, fuck the movie. I mean, seriously, no offense to anybody who made the movie, but the book is one of the only times that I read a book, and then the sequels too. There's other books in that series where I actually stopped reading because I'm laughing at what this guy is writing. He is a brilliant writer to the point where I seriously was like, ha ha ha! What psychopath sits there laughing at a book? Me. And that's Douglas Adams' Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. It's so funny, it's so clever, and the book just doesn't even come close to doing it justice, sadly. You saw the movie in theaters or something?
Yeah. I remember. I don't remember the movie, but I remember I saw the movie in Seattle.
Yeah. No.
See, that's no good.
No good. What else? What do I have on my bedside table? I was reading a book called Easy Riders and Raging Bulls.
What?
Yeah, Easy Riders and Raging Bulls. I have to figure out the author. This is a nonfiction book about the new Hollywood in the 70s where...
American new cinema.
Yeah, so it's like, it starts out with Bonnie and Clyde and Raging Bull... not Raging Bull.
Easy
Rider. And how the old Hollywood is sort of... They don't even care about the prince and the this and that. So all this new guard like Scorsese, Warren Beatty... all kinds of people came through. Cassavetes is mentioned, and we're not only trying to save the Hollywood from destroying their legacies, but also pushing stories forward throughout that decade and into the early 80s. It's a great book. And then something that's similar to that is called Please Kill Me, all about the punk scene in New York in the 70s. All about the Ramones, Johnny Thunder, all that stuff. It's CBGB, holy shit. Again, one of the greatest books. And the reason I love this book is because it's all people's interviews in people's own words. So it goes and it'll be like, Dee Dee Ramone said this, and it'll say what he said. It's the actual words of the people telling the story. And sometimes those stories conflict. So who's lying? Who's telling the truth? Who got the real goods? Who did? Yeah, it's great. It's so great. If you like that kind of music and of that time, that's the real shit. What else? Come on, two more off this, Yuki. One man, one woman.
Well, I remember Susan Hinton, the outsider, and then
S.E. Hinton.
S.E.
Hinton. Yeah.
The outsider and the rumblefish.
Yep, they made us read that in middle school.
That's young people's Bible, right? The Bible.
It should be. It should be still taught. I don't know if they don't teach it anymore or not, but absolutely, I love
movie was
those
good
books.
To kind of Coppola did the both, but
well, you want to know something really sad?
Yeah.
He did an update of The Outsiders because he claims that when he made The Outsiders, he had to make a lot of compromises that he didn't want to make.
Oh, really?
Like the score or certain things in the movie, the editing.
So he redid?
He redid it.
When? I didn't know that.
Not too long ago, in the 21st century. So after the turn of the century. It could have been in the early 2000s. It could have been last year.
Right.
We watched it, and it was very not good. Very not good.
What did he
They
change?
took out the score and replaced it with shitty ass generic rock and roll.
Oh my
god! But not even stuff of the time that was recorded then. So popular hits where it could be like. It was new, like ding 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 ding.
Wait a minute, but who did the original one? Then Coppola did it himself.
Coppola's dad scored it.
His dad?
His father scored the original version, the one that we like.
Yeah.
From the
I didn't
80s.
know the second one, but I mean, I thought the first one was good.
Well, the second one, the re-edit, the redux or whatever it's
Why
called.
he did that? So
because
stupid.
he claims that he didn't have it his way. And well, let me tell you, his way was not the right way because it just is. Seriously, fucking whatever his name is getting beaten up and killed. And there's music that sounds like this. Like, you know, they're just a shitty generic fucking guitar riff. Horrible.
Horrible. Why did he do that? God damn
Sometimes, well, I mean, why did Spielberg replace the guns with walkie-talkies in E.T.? Because they're all fucked up when they get older and they regret decisions, but they shouldn't. They should just let it lie.
Yeah, leave it.
Leave it alone. But yeah, as he hinted, Rumblefish is a great book. That's also a really good movie.
Yeah.
You read those?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that was my 8th grade.
And then remember Rumblefish, that the pink fish?
Yeah.
That actually he came from Kurosawa movie High and Low.
Oh shit! Oh shit! Wow.
Have you seen High and Low?
Yeah, I saw High and Low.
Remember the pink smoke?
Yeah.
Coppola liked it. That was so effective, so he used
did that.
I'm
gonna have to rewatch that because that's the one where they have the kids kidnapped, right?
Right.
Yeah, that's a great one. That one is amazing. Not to get off topic about authors, but the direction of that is like a play.
Yeah, the living room.
That living room set,
like a chess piece.
It's like chess pieces, and it's always like one unbroken shot where somebody moves here and then the action's here. Oh my god!
He planned that way, like exact his way.
Yeah, I love that movie. Yeah.
Oh, speaking of High and Low, still that's based on Edo McBain's King's Ransom.
Oh, okay. So there you go. This is based on a book.
Yeah.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah.
Holy shit, Yuki! Wow, you know a lot of those animals.
Well.
You know, if let's see if there's any books behind me, because sometimes we have books on the shelves, and other times we don't. Like now, no, there's books back here. What's this one? Oh, this is a record.
Record.
Oh shit, that's all right. I tried.
God, you have lots of DVD and
well, right behind us is a bunch of our DVDs and stuff like that. But I remember putting a couple of books up here, but I can't really, for the life of me, see any right now. I must have moved them. Over there, I see across the room is a book written by one of the most famous authors.
Yeah.
God.
Oh, the Bible? King's Bible?
Well, no. So the one that I have across there is a children's Bible. And it's the Bible that I had when I was a kid that my father...
What's a different children's Bible?
Here, hold on. Let me bring it to you.
Yeah.
Because this is the ultimate book, right? No, I got it. Yeah. Well, I'll just edit this part. Here, look.
Sure. So what's the difference children's Bible? Oh, I see.
So the difference here, and this, I seriously love this book. The difference between the regular Bible and this is the regular Bible doesn't have pictures.
Oh, I see.
This is illustrated, and it also sort of simplifies the stories for everybody.
So content is basically same, right?
Basically the same content, except it's watered. I wouldn't even say watered down. It's simplified for children. So if you and me as adults, we could still read this beautifully put together book and learn about Daniel and the lion, learn about David and Goliath, but learn about it without having to read the density of the King James Bible, the children's Bible. This I remember when I was a kid. It's actually just called the Children's Bible.
Yeah.
And my father used to read this to me, and I remember just like sitting there going, "Wow, this is cool. This is cool. This is cool." Because of the pictures. I mean, it's just really well put together. Here, David and Goliath. Look at that.
Oh my God.
There's a beautiful picture of David and Goliath. I'll put some of these out online when we put this up. It's a great book.
I mean, I'm not really religious, but I started dealing with the Bible. Is like basically watching the movie Bible, like a Ben-Hur, the Robe. Those 10 Commandments. I mean, I
love 10 Commandments. Yeah,
I learned the story about by watching the movie.
Some great stories in there, even if you don't believe in God.
Right.
It's
a good story.
Good stories. The Passover, all that stuff. It's really captivating. So if anybody's interested, find a children's Bible that's
looks good though.
It looks good, right? It's a beautiful book.
Yeah, look at the pictures. Yeah,
you got really nice pictures in there, and even if you don't want to read it, you can just look at the pictures, or read maybe one essay a day, and they're very short. They just tell you the simple.
And then a mall, and then 3 visitors.
Yeah, forget it.
I did the opera.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh.
See, so still,
maybe if that story's in here, you could get some ideas on design by the illustrations.
Yeah.
Well, cool. That was authors, and we ended with God as the. No, this was probably edited by a human being. But yeah, Yuki, we'll do. Authors is so general. We haven't even come close to touching the surface of authors. I mean, I didn't even mention Dean Koontz.
Oh my God,
Dean Koontz,
right?
No, that's Frank Herbert.
Oh, that's Frank Herbert.
Dean Koontz is one of those guys who writes thrillers and horror stuff. He's sort of
writes a lot, right?
Oh, he writes a shitload of stuff. One time when I was studying for high school exams, and I was really sad that I had to be studying, and I didn't want to do it. To try to take a break, I picked up a book called Phantoms by Dean Koontz. And I stopped studying. I just read the whole book.
Did anybody make a movie about this?
They did. They made it with Ben Affleck, and who's the guy from Lawrence of Arabia? Peter O'Toole, and Rose McGowan's in it. And it's not that good. It's sad.
What movie?
Phantoms.
Phantoms.
They made it. They made
it?
They made it.
I don't even know.
Nobody remembers. It was in the late 90s or early 2000s.
Oh, really?
And it's sad because the book is awesome. But
the movie sucked.
I just don't even remember. I remember seeing it and going, "That's not the book."
Oh.
And then but what's sad is Peter O'Toole is the perfect casting for the character in the book, who's this older.
Who directed? They ruined the book.
I don't know, man. I never heard of him again. No offense, not taken, but. No, he probably went on to a major career. I mean, look at me. I'm not doing anything. I'm sitting, I'm sitting here talking about Phantoms. I didn't make nothing. So maybe let's write a book, Yuki. I'm going to write a book. My book would be about I can't even think of one. My book would be about a sad guy who talks about authors and books and movies and never does his own. Like my life. All right, this was Yuki and John's podcast buffet, and we talked about authors, and we're going to come back. We could come back with more authors. We can come back with specific authors. If you want to hear us talk only about Joan Didion.
Right. Oh, can I say one thing?
Yeah.
I really liked Harriet the Spy.
The book?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Then, you know, I said somebody should make the movie, and then they did make a movie with Rosie O'Donnell.
Ooh, was it good?
No, I was so disappointed.
Oh, that sucks. Well, all right. Well, we're going to research more authors and bad adaptations and all that, and we'll bring it back to you at the buffet. Anything you want to plug?
No, we will talk more because, you know, many authors didn't come out, so
Yeah.
we just you know couldn't.
We'll bring Mo. All right, so the Yuki and John's Patreon buffet. We got that thing going.
Yes.
And people are very generous to us. We got the last drive-in that happens.
Yes.
That happens. And then, you know, we just have our own life. So come and say hi to us on the internet at whenever you find us. All right, thank you. Have a great day.
Thank you. Yeah. See
Write a
you
book.
again. Yeah.
We'll read it.
I don't know. I mean,
No, not you. The
write
audience. They should
audience.
write it.
Yeah, audience.
Thank you.
Somebody will do, right? Somebody write the book and then it's becoming bestseller probably.
That's right. And then we'll steal the idea and
we make the
we
movie.
make the money. And the money. Movie.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
No, we don't. We invite them. Our guest.
The ghostwriter.
Ghostwriter?
All right.
Okay.
We'll do. Okay. All right. Bye.
Yuki and John, Patreon buffet.